Hello YouTube, Miller Connor here, welcome back once again and welcome to a certain Mr. JM from JayEmm On Cars. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, you?
Very, very good. And he's joined us in one of his infamous shirts in his very famous Lotus Evora 400, because in my continued quest to kind of learn more about Lotus and expose them a bit more on YouTube, we're going to take a ride out in his orange beast to learn more about why these cars are world beaters.
Yellow. Oh, this section about world famous roads.
Oh, so potholy. But you know what, this is actually alright over the bumps. It's genuinely quite plush.
That's a big difference between my Elise and this. In the Elise, you see like one of those bumps, you'd be like, oh! You know, you thump it and it'd be like, ow, ow. And I don't think the car was too bad. My Elise didn't have any noise insulation, didn't have anything in it. So the shockwave just transmitted just straight through the car. Whereas this, because it's just that much more refined, you just, when I went out with the guy with the GTR, you see like the little pothole and be like, ah, because you know, the massive tyres.
Heavy car as well.
Sorry, massive wheels with, you know, very thin tyres on.
Such a good noise. Such a good noise. When we were at Stratton and we were looking at all those Elites and Exeges, which incidentally was yesterday because the weather has very much taken a turn for the worse. It's been awful weather today. But we noticed that in those Elites, they're very much how the Lotus philosophy kind of is said to be simplified and like this. They're quite hardcore, quite basic, not a great deal of creature comforts. But this is a little bit different.
There's something there that you say, which I think is actually a really common misconception about Lotus. For people of your generation, my generation, it's because pretty much growing up, a Lotus has basically meant an Elise.
Yeah. Which
is a pretty small car. They generally don't have a lot in them. I mean, growing up, carpets are an option. Yeah. So people have always had this idea that a Lotus is some stripped out, hardcore track car. The reality is, and I hope one day you do get a go in an Elise, because actually they're pretty comfy. So in their really, really early history, they did make very small, hardcore, basically race cars with number plates on. That's what they really were.
That's Lotus built the reputation of them.
Yeah, in terms of road cars, Chapman was always quite smart, and he knew that the money was to be made the way that Ferrari did. You make high performance, luxurious, high profit cars, basically.
The Evora's always had, like, since it came out, a lot of journalists said, oh, it rides surprisingly well for what it is. And it's true. I mean, we're going down like a typical B road right now, and there's undulations in it, and there's bumps, and there's holes, and it frankly looks a bit like a 15-year-old's face. And it's all right in here. It goes over bumps, and you can feel them, but they're sort of numbed.
You know they're there, but they're not smacking you.
Exactly. And it's far from my car is more uncomfortable than this, because everyone goes, oh, Lotuses, you know, they're like a shed, there's nothing in them, blah, blah. But you know, we've got a nice head unit, we've got aircon, we've got electric windows. It's certainly not a track day special in here.
The Salamandre, the American YouTuber, did a video on this car, and throughout the whole video he kept harping on about it being a track car, it's so good on track, and you know, it's not really a road car. And I was like, like,
hang on.
Really? Like, this is a brilliant road car. We all love a bit of luxury and a bit of tech and stuff in cars, but what do we actually really need? Like, for me, I need a heater, I need aircon, I need Bluetooth and sat-nav.
And that's it.
And that's it, and I've got all of that in here.
It's not, like, glued on in weird places. It's all quite nicely done. The thing Lotus has always been really famous for, and again, this exemplifies it, is the handling.
So my first experience of an Evora was actually on a day like today. This is a story that's actually been repeated to me by several other people who have had their first experience. So I went to go and test drive an Evora. I wasn't sure whether I wanted one at the time or not. All I knew about Lotus was that to understand it, you've got to drive it.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're never going to get it.
Everyone says that.
Yeah. I had my M3 at the time, went and drove this car. It was a pretty cack day. I took it down roads I did not know, and I wound up driving this car pretty briskly, not stupid speeds, just quick.
Whoa.
And I was like, hang on a minute, I don't know these roads, but I'm going down them pretty quick in poor conditions. But the car just gave me total confidence. You know, it speaks to you, and you know that it's going to make it through that bend. With the Lotus, it was intuition. You know, you went into a corner, and the car told you, like, yeah,
you've got the feeling,
make it. Yeah.
Even as a passenger, I'm not, at no point has this scared me. When I rode a Nissan GTR, it was conditions similar to this, and lest we forget, the GTR has got computers coming out of its ears, it's got four-wheel drive, traction control, and even that felt a little bit skatey at times. Like, you weren't 100% confident.
Big.
Really big, really heavy.
Big car. GTR is actually much more involved than you think. The guy here, if you look, there's a couple of cars undercover. One's an Esprit and one's an XL.
Oh, good man. So he's a bit of a long-term fan.
Likes his Lotus.
Which I think brings us on to next, because the thing is with Lotus, not everyone thinks about them. Like, for example, if you're looking at a sports car for about 50 grand, most people would say Cayman, Alpha 4C, Audi TT RS, that kind of crowd. Very few people will think Exige, but those who are into Lotus are loyal. Generally, like yourself, you've come back to the brand, you've got another one. So would you say that's what you don't get this experience anywhere else? Is that why you stay with them?
Lotus brings a lot of things you don't necessarily get with other manufacturers. Any Lotus, right? You try and make a case for it on paper, not going to happen.
Probably not.
This happens all the time when I talk to guys in America, because they go, oh, well, hang on a minute, I can get a Corvette with another 60 horsepower for like $30,000 less. And it's like, look, if that's the way you buy your cars, I'm never going to be able to convince you to get a Lotus.
No.
It's just not going to happen.
It's not a car you buy with your head.
No. The things that Lotus does so well, the handling of that, they don't really translate into numbers. You know, the feel you get through steering is difficult to measure. People just like 0 to 60 times and top speed times. And
at which point Lotus, they're not the best. They're not the fastest.
No, never have been. Till about 15, 20 years ago, neither was Porsche. You know, a regular Carrera was never like that spectacular.
It was only sort of M3, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit quicker than an M3 maybe. That's it. You get that feel, you get that drive. You also get part of the Lotus community, which is a very special place to be.
Very close.
You know, very close near, very friendly people, very supportive. You've got issues, you need help with your car. There's always people either online or in real life to help you. I love when you pass another Lotus and you give them a wave, and you'll always get a wave back, which is something that is supposed to happen with Alphas and doesn't.
It happens with Land Rovers.
Happens with Defenders, definitely. Having been a biker in the past is something I really like having that sense. Yeah, it really is that. Plus, what you get is the way this car looks, sounds, and feels genuinely is up there. It's not a supercar, but it has many supercar traits about it. For me, making a purchase like this, which is probably going to be the most expensive car I'll ever buy by a huge margin, I wanted that experience. Drive it, it's an event. You take it somewhere, it's an event. Like, you know, we were parked up in a car park a little bit ago, like kids look at it and point and stuff.
They smile and laugh.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, and that's special.
It's crazy. You go everywhere and someone's got a Lotus story. I was queuing up for a bus at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
Oh wow!
And I think I had a Lotus hat on, and this old guy must have been like way into his 60s. Just suddenly started talking to me about the fact that he used to race an Elite, you know, when he was younger.
Oh,
and stuff.
Back in the day,
Yeah, and it's just like, wow, like it's just. That's nuts, like it just comes out of nowhere, you know?
So it's a brand that people kind of stick to because they like it, because it's different, because it's special.
Yeah, it's always been a little bit different, a little bit offbeat. As I get older, I actually enjoy that in cars more. You know, when I was younger, I would go for the 911 or the M3 or the thing that on paper was better than everything else, and now that I've driven more, it's less about sort of the outright speed, and it's more about the experience, and that's what I can get from the Lotus. One way to look at it is, I know Sam and See Through Glass, he recently got a Ferrari 360 because he basically wasn't happy with the experience that he got from his McLaren.
No.
The way that I've often explained this car to people is, imagine if you were going to do like a modern version of a 355 or a 360.
Yeah.
And I've driven both of those cars, and you're like, by modern standards, they are not fast cars. You know, people come and talk to me about this car, and they're like, oh, wow, man, what's it do like 0 to 60? And I'm like, look, if you want to just go really fast 0 to 60, you want to go and impress people at Santa Pod, like, go and buy a Golf R or something and just chip it. A 718 Cayman is probably just as quick as this. It does nothing for me.
Me neither, no.
You know, I look at it and I'm like, it's nice.
It needs to excite something, it needs to trigger something.
Oh my god, yeah, it's got to give you the fizz. I actually originally started looking at a Cayman GT4 before I then realised they were a limited edition thing, and you'd have to murder your grandmother to get one, and then you'd have to pay like, you know, 50% over, and I was like, hang on a minute, I don't have that kind of money, and I am not paying 100 grand for a Cayman. No way. Porsche then introduced the 718. I don't want a 4-cylinder turbocharged car. That just doesn't excite me particularly, not in terms of a Porsche.
No.
I want a flat 6. Everyone basically agreed with me. Nobody wanted a turbocharged flat 4 in the Porsche.
Which is why they're bombing. That's why no one really cares about them.
Nobody's buying 718s. Everyone's keeping or buying the 981s. So the prices of those have gone through the roof. So that's when I started looking at alternatives, and that's when the Lotus crops up. because hang on a minute, it's a V6, which sounds awesome. It's
really
supercharged, gives me that throttle response that you get from a naturally aspirated engine. You know, it's quick enough, it looks special, it handles great. You're like, it's very practical as well.
Useful.
Yeah, so you're like, hang on a minute, like, this could be my ideal car.
So this isn't just any Evora. The original one was around 276 horsepower, something like that.
First one, yeah.
The first generation one. This is the supercharged Evora 400 and sounds ungodly good. Let's just have some sizzle. Let's have some noise. So good. Such a good noise. Oh, that's such a good noise. And this is a stock exhaust. This isn't aftermarket. This is just Oh, it's such a good noise. And it's loud. For a stock pipe, it is loud.
It's very loud. Static tested at 111.
Static at 111.
Yes, that's a problem because you can't get it on track.
See, that's brilliant. A car that would be good on track that won't go on a track day.
The car is great on track. I have been on track in it once.
Did it live up to the Lotus reputation?
Oh, it was brilliant. Loved it. Very easy car to drive. Also, one thing that's really impressed me with this car, you know, because I wanted a car with very reasonable servicing costs, I'm still on the original tyres and brakes.
Really?
Yep.
It's not like you don't do any miles in this, poodle about in it. You drive it like it should be driven, within the law, it's worth mentioning, but properly. How usable. It defies all the stereotypes.
Yeah. That's the main thing people tend to say, like, I didn't think a Lotus would be like this. No, you didn't, because you don't actually know what a Lotus is like at all.
They're trading on a reputation based on the types of cars and the types of practices they haven't had for years. You can't make bad cars anymore, with the exception of the Renault Kadjar, but we'll ignore that. It keeps coming back to reputation, rumours, reputation. What you've heard is that it's not, you know, garage queen. Oh, if it's not sunny and beautiful and dry, don't get it out. We're driving through hell right now. It's a monsoon.
Oh, this is not bad. I've driven this car much worse.
Exactly, and it does it.
You must get it though with misinformation and hearsay about brands. I mean, crikey, you drive a Fiat. So, you know, you must be dealing with like incorrect rumours all the time.
The second question I get with my car after, is that the in-betweeners car, is, oh, I bet it breaks down a lot. No, never ever.
I had 2 Alfa Romeos, and even though my Pereira was a bit of a suspect one, actually nothing turned out to be that wrong with it. It just needed a damn good service.
Yeah.
Was all it needed.
It never properly broke down.
No, not at all.
Has this actually had any problems? Have you actually had any instances where it wouldn't start, or something fell off, or something stopped working?
All the problems I've had quite a few, but they've all been like niggly silly things. You know, like the odd rattle here and stuff like that. No point ever has this car stranded me anywhere, nor would I really have any concern about it stranding me anywhere. 2 of the biggest bits in the car, the engine and the gearbox, are made by Toyota.
So they're never going to break.
No, Lotus do listen to things when stuff goes wrong, and they do constantly improve cars. It's not like bigger manufacturers where they just do a big update every year or something.
Facelift.
It's kind of a constant tinkering and
but that's what they do. They evolve and they tinker and they move on. We've gone from the days where a Lotus was a garage queen, it was fragile, it was, oh, it's raining, better not take that out, to now this, where we're thrashing it legally in appalling weather, and it's fine, it's brilliant.
I mean, the older cars would do that to some extent. You just got to remember that a lot of these cars where Lotus seem to have a reputation, you know, particularly about braking and stuff like that, you might be talking about a car from the 70s.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, how many other British cars from the 70s would you actually trust to run on a daily basis without problems? So the car I've had the biggest number of problems with, and it's cost me the most money far and away, is my M3.
A BMW, you wouldn't expect that.
If you buy a Lotus, I'm not going to pretend for a minute that you won't have any problems. You probably will. You know, that's just kind of the nature of the beast. But don't pretend that Porsches don't have issues, or BMWs,
or McLaren.
Or McLarens, or Ferraris. Like, people will take the mickey out of a Lotus for having like a reasonably like minor problem, but then everyone seems to conveniently forget the fact that 458s and GT3s were catching fire.
Yeah, just conveniently forgotten that.
Yeah.
Because people don't know, or think they know but don't.
The toughest part is convincing someone into one.
Yeah.
The minute you've done that, the car will do the rest of it. Most people just won't even bother. Even if someone maybe considers a Lotus briefly for a minute, generally they just wind up back to Porsche. If they actually had the bravery to go and try the Lotus, very often they get converted. Lotus's conversion rate is something like 1 in 3.
Which is immense.
It's crazy high.
It's one of those products and one of those companies where you've got to go and do it. You've got to go and try it. You've got to go into it with an open mind and let it win you over and let it suck you in.
If you like driving, you'll love it.
And in an age of hybridity and downsizing and emissions tests tightening down, the motorist almost feeling irrelevant, self-driving cars are on the way and things like that, to have a company that is just go, let's go out there and let's make cars for people who like cars and who like driving, that's the best. Yep, that's what it's all about. So there we have it. The Evora, much like Lotus does for most people, has completely won me over and almost totally surprised me. It's fair to say, JM, you've got a cracking car here, mate.
Thank you.
I love this thing. I've always kind of had a passing interest in the Evora, much like Lotus themselves, but experiencing it, I totally get the hype for it, and I frankly don't understand why the 911 outsells it so much. In my continued quest to expose Lotus for being as brilliant as they are, and to learn more about why people love them, I've got closer and closer to the fact that one day I definitely need to get a Lotus in my life. For now though, if you do want to know more about this epic Evora 400 and what life with a Lotus is truly like, go and follow JayEmm On Cars on YouTube, because it's fair to say plenty more to come with this.
Absolutely.
Love it, love it, love it. Need to get another experience in one of these one day. That will come very soon, hopefully. But for now, thanks so much for watching the video, everybody. I really, really appreciate it. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a big old thumbs up, and also subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified when a new Miller Corner video is released. But for now, thanks once again for watching, everybody, and have a brilliant rest of your day. See you soon, and have a good one.